Hello everybody, my name is Naya and I'm the Black Female Engineer. I provide content for new and aspiring software engineers, and today we're talking about the questions to ask during a job interview. When they say, do you have any questions? You should pull out that scroll and be like, yes, actually, if you have 20 minutes and go into it. And so these are the 5 questions to ask. Number 1, this is very 2021 specific, but how has the pandemic affected this company's operations and this specific role? 1, they can say, oh, actually, really the biggest effect was that it had to be online now. But it can also be that they now had to switch a lot of things up if their business had to do a lot with in-person interaction. Let's say you work for a theme park and you're trying to be a developer there. Now, the pandemic very much could have affected them and their day-to-day operations, and really just everyone from the top to the bottom. This is also a great question to understand how the company deals with unexpected change and extremely high stress situations, which is really funny because that's a lot of times what they want to know from you. So we're in a very rare opportunity where we can ask direct questions to get a sense of how they deal with that as well. Because if you find out that they fired 50% of the people and now they're over here trying to hire you, meanwhile Jenny over here is still without a job, that there's something wrong there. You know what I mean? And so it's a great way to just see how the company reacts to change and any unexpected things that your role now has that maybe the person behind you, but person before you did not have to go through. Number 2, what will the first 90 days in this role look like for me? This is great for you to just lay down the scene of understanding what to expect. Me, I get very flustered and anxious with the not knowing, with every day being like, hey, when am I supposed to do X, Y, and Z? Or am I supposed to know this by now? Do they expect me to be building all of this right now? And this is a great way for you to kind of hold them accountable later on and say, well, you actually told me the first 3 months here would look like X, Y, and Z. And so that's what I'm trying to make sure I provide for you all. This also provides you with the opportunity to say what you as a worker kind of needs as support from them. Are you the type of person who likes to have, your direct manager on standby so you can ask questions? Are there channels for mentorship? Are there channels for me to ask, a buddy? Can I have a buddy that I can ask these little questions to, like, where's the kitchen? Where's the copier? Things like that. Or is it going to be very solo? Do you like working solo? Saying something like, oh, well, in the first 90 days, I really like to focus on my job description, really understanding the lay of the land, really observing everybody else and how they do things. And so please don't be alarmed if you don't hear from me much. It doesn't mean I'm not working, or it doesn't mean I'm struggling. It really means that I'm trying to just take everything in as much as possible. So it's a two-way street of understanding what they would expect from you, but you providing what you would need as support and what they can expect of you too. That way, if and when the first 90 days comes for you, both of you just have a better idea of how you operate. Number 3, what aspects of the company culture would you like to be developed? This is great because companies like to toot from their horn up on the rooftop, up on the mountains, talking about how great their company is. And I'm not saying they're lying, but sometimes it takes that extra push, extra question of saying, yo, actually, but what's wrong with this company? Because there's always something wrong in a company. It doesn't mean it's a bad company or be a bad place to work with, but you still need to know those things so you can better prepare yourself, so that you can also make more informed decisions of, do I actually want to work here or not? And so saying, what parts of the culture would you like to be developed? It's really code for, what's wrong here? Like, tell me, what do I need to know? And so this is a great way for them to see that, okay, you actually care about the other things surrounding your work, not just the job description, not just, the technical things, but the actual vibe of this workspace. And it forces them to actually be honest with you and tell you what that is. Something I like to do is, once they provide their answer, I like to ask them what efforts they're putting in place to get that done. Because if they say, oh, well, this sucks, but we just deal with it, I don't like it. And so I like to follow it up with, oh, that's really interesting for you to say. Are there, or what are the steps being taken to remedy those issues? And that really makes them be held accountable for the workspace and what's going on there. So it's a great two-parter. Number 4, this kind of goes with number 2, and that is, what do you anticipate will be the most difficult part about my transition? It kind of goes to number 2 of describing my first 90 days. And now, what do you anticipate will be the most challenging thing for me? And this is great, again, for preparing you, especially if they say, oh, we think you learning C++ is going to be the most difficult part. Then you can spend the next, week or two before you even start your job to learn and whatnot, and just have a nice, smoother transition into it all. And this is also great when they check up on you once you start working. And let's say you've been working for a few weeks and you're really having trouble learning C++. It's really great to know that they know that it was going to be a struggle. Does that make sense? Sometimes what's difficult for me is feeling like, shoot, I don't want to say I'm having issues because they expect me to know this and they expect me to be all up in here and all of this. And so I don't want to show any type of weakness or show X, Y, and Z. So now that you know that they know that this is a struggle, you're less scared to bring it up once you start working. Actually, you're right, this is a struggle. Are there any extra resources? Or even bringing up in meetings and things like that, because they are the first ones to have admitted that it would have been difficult for you. And then last but not least, number 5. Is there anything about my resume or about our conversation here today that gives you any type of pause or concern? I love this question because if there isn't, it's an opportunity for them to praise you. It's a great way to kind of gauge how they're feeling about you. They can either say, no, we think you are a great match. We've loved talking with you. Your values are very much aligned with ours, and we look forward to talking with you. You can now kind of leave that interview with a sense of like, whew, okay, so I think I'm okay. I think I'll be good, and just be a little bit less nervous. Or they can say, actually, we don't like that you've only been working for a year and this job requires 2 to 3 years of experience. Then it gives you the opportunity to address these concerns and say, yes, I completely understand why that would give you pause. However, I just wanted noted that although I've only been working for a year, these are all the things I was able to do in that short amount of time that I saw on your job description you expected somebody to do in 2 to 3 years. And so I hope that helps mitigate any concerns you have. So it creates a great opportunity to just be like, I understand that that's an issue, but here's why it shouldn't be, but this is why it actually should be a positive for you. Like, it shows that I'm a quick learner. It shows that I'm driven and hardworking and all of these things. And so they can either, like I said, give you praise or give you an opportunity to address any concerns they have, instead of you just leaving and they are in their mind like, oh, she only has a year of experience. Now it's, oh yeah, she actually is right. She learned really quickly and she was able to build all this and contribute in all of these ways. That's amazing. And so this thing that was once a con for them is now this amazing pro. And so there we have it, y'all. Please subscribe. Please like and comment if you like this video. It really helps my channel out a lot. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what questions you have. If you have questions that you've asked in interviews, or you wonder how it would be perceived in an interview, please leave them down below. I'm not an expert, but I've definitely gone through my lot of interviews and everything. So no, let me know. Let's talk. Let's communicate. And I'll see you all later. Bye.